what is the standard definition of masturbation? It is sexual act with an imagined partner. You just do it to yourself, but you do it to yourself and you just imagine, fantasize about a partner or whatever. But I think that what Lacan compels us to do is to turn it around also and to claim that real sex has the precise structure of a masturbation with a real partner. That is to say, you are never alone, you and your partner. Your partner is used as a kind of a prop for masturbation to sustain your fantasy. There is always a third phantasmatic element, which makes you enjoy it. I was not able, I forgot the copy to show you. I wanted to show you a short passage, but I can describe it, it's very elementary, from Michael Curtis' Casablanca. The scene is that after some arguments, they declare love to each other, they embrace, then you have this famous fade out, which always happens in Hollywood after embrace. Then you have just 3 seconds and a half, a shot of the tower of Casablanca airport with the light turning around. Then we move back to Humphrey Bogart's room where the same conversation as before goes on. This is what happens. Now, the big enigma is the following one. It's the vulgar one, of course. Did they do it or not? That is to say, what happened in those 2.5 seconds? Is this a real-time gap? Or is it a condensation for, I don't know, half an hour, 1 hour of lovemaking? What is so interesting about this scene is that it's not simply undecided, but the movie gives detailed signs, instructions for both contradictory readings. First, you get a whole series of encoded signals that they did it. First, afterwards, you see him smoking. As you know, in Hollywood censorship, when after embrace and fade out, a couple smokes, it's a signal they did it. But the mystery is that at the same time, you get a whole series of signs that they did not do it. Like they take great care in showing how apparently the same conversation goes on, as if the gap is only really, in reality, 2.5 seconds. This is how Hollywood ideology functioned. It was not simply censorship. It operated on both levels at the same time. It is as if Hollywood censorship was addressing you, but at the same time your ideological censorship agency. The message of Hollywood to you was, I know you would like to have the dirty scene that they did it, but let's put in some signs for the censorship that they didn't it, so that you can then secretly fantasize that they did it, but you can be covered. No, it's nothing, you see, nothing really happened, and so on. You know, it's both levels. And what's my thesis here? My thesis is that this tells us a lot about how ideology functions. Ideology is not simply just censorship, and then secretly you transgress it by dirty fantasies and so on and so on. The lesson of Hollywood is that ideology, as in this case the force of censorship, directly generates this repressed content. The Hollywood film wants you to imagine that they did it, but at the same time it gives you a safe coverage, like you can freely engage in your imagination because we covered to you. If an authority figure asked you what were you thinking about, you can say nothing, it's just the embrace and so on. You know, it's the same as here, you know. He saw her naked, one is even afraid to think what he did to her, but what happened? Nothing, where is any underwear and so on, you know. It covers you. And I think this is crucial again for how, not only in Hollywood, but all around, ideology works.